Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Crudo Money Caro, and today we're going to be doing another reaction to internet historian, I think it's called Incognito mode, hobbies. I've been enjoying his videos so far, so why not check out another one? This one's pretty old, so I'm a little behind. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. Comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Here we go.
Hobbies. What are hobbies? Is rock climbing a hobby?
Fuck no. I mean, it is. But fuck no. Is he just dead?
All this and more on In the Field. Alright, so do you have any hobbies?
I do, actually.
like
I have
that.
many.
Really?
Yeah, swindling larger YouTube channels, that's probably the biggest one. But outside of that, I play Dungeons and Dragons every week.
Nerd.
Okay, well...
No, sorry, carry on. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on. Carry on.
Use that big red button that you push to mute when you yell slurs. Tell me about your hobbies.
That's what they're doing right now, right? That's like, what did he just say? Why am I forgetting it? I always see, like, people play those big board games in, like, the local comic shops. I mean, like, long as they're having fun, who cares? At the same time, I'm like, I wouldn't do that because it looks like a lot of work. And I don't want to work for my fun.
The older you get, the more maintenances around the house become your hobbies. I do quite a lot of gardening.
Old green thumb, eh?
I'm not amazing at keeping the plants alive or fruiting, but
I am good at keeping them.
yeah. Once in a while, landscaping as well. Like I rent the diggers and then I smooth out the dirt and such. Otherwise, I watch a lot of YouTube.
So that's interesting because I don't.
Interesting.
I don't know if that makes me a bad YouTuber or a good one, because...
Oh, I've got my hand in the air. I have the answer to this for me, Kudos.
Am I a good YouTuber or not?
Bad! I want to guess bad YouTuber. Carry on, mini Kudos.
Was it the awful videos or the lack of uploads?
I would say both, sir.
Well, Timmy, maybe one day you too can put off uploading to your YouTube channel. Something I find interesting but I'd never do is those people who go like, I know what you call it, like dredging or magnet fishing, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Where you see these videos on YouTube and TikTok, which are probably like faked a lot of the time, but I'm sure they still, you find there are just so many guns.
I love that stuff.
Wait, do people actually find guns in the water? Ooh. That's kind of scary. But they said it's fake, so...
Watching people panning for gold, people like looking around with metal detectors
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God,
In
I would
fact,
not
I
watch
was
that.
so into that stuff for a while. This is before I had a YouTube channel, that I bought a metal detector.
Oh my
and
God,
I went to the
really?
store and I'm like, come on, we're going to go down to a thing. We're going to go to a park or something. We're going to find a creek and we're just going to like metal detect around. As soon as I had the metal detector in my hand, I was so embarrassed. I just felt embarrassed. I can't explain it.
The reality set in that you'd have to be the guy going metal detecting.
Yeah, and we went down to like this creek, and on the way there, you'd pass by people, and you'd kind of like try to push the metal detector kind of behind their line of sight.
He's
so they wouldn't
embarrassed
see
of it.
And then we got down there, and boy, that metal detector was a real piece of shit. I didn't have much money at the time, so I just bought like the cheapest one, and so it only made a beeping noise when there wasn't anything.
What?
That is the worst scenario. Because it still works, but it's now incredibly annoying.
Loud and awful, yeah.
I mean, do a lot of people do that? I used to see that, like, on TV a lot. That, like, people had hobbies of doing that. I think that's, like, more people that live in, like, beach towns, right? I don't know.
Like the idea that her story's so mad she leaves you and you have to walk home that day.
We didn't find anything except like one bottle cap, and then like on the way back we're like, oh, there's a beach, all right, fine, I'm gonna try the beach, and couldn't find
like,
anything.
beach makes more sense.
We're making this really loud fucking noise, people are looking at us. And then I went, all right, I'm not finding anything here, hold on, and I threw $2 into the sand to see if the thing would pick it up. It not only didn't pick it up, but then I lost the $2. I lost money. Stupid fucking hobby, and I haven't been metal detecting ever since. I would quite like to get into pigeon racing.
Okay.
I met a guy who bred and raced pigeons.
Okay.
And it is fascinating. They'll race these things over, like 400 kilometers.
Oh, wow.
And it'll come, like, down to the wire.
Wagga.
Yeah.
It is
I didn't know that was
really
a
cool
place.
the way they breed these particular pigeons and like, oh, well, this one has particular stamina, but this one has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you can keep pigeons basically the same way you keep chickens. But they just sit there and make this noise like,
That's a really good pigeon noise.
oh, thank you. Instead of like, wah, 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 like a chicken does, right? The chickens are awful and they stink, but pigeons are just like, hey, I'm purring like a cat,
I also don't like pigeons, but I will give you that
Pigeons
they
are
are
kinda
quieter
scary.
and less smelly than chickens.
Yes.
Possibly less tasty too, though. But my only issue with something like pigeon racing is because it's, I'm assuming, it's somewhat of a niche sport. I would feel like I'd want like cool video game stats involved. Like if I was going to be breeding these little suckers, I'd want to have like a UI
my
where I can be
God.
like, here's this guy's speed rating out of 10.
They do that.
What
Oh my
the
God,
fuck?
do
They
they
have these
really?
little ankle bracelet things, and then they have like a QR code on them, and then they have like
What?
these websites online that take all of their stats and track them by
Fucking
GPS and do all this stuff. It's like crazy.
That's like sports stats, but for birds.
That's
and
interesting.
you know what? Here's how you race
I
a
wouldn't
pigeon,
do it,
right?
but I think that's
You
kind of
throw
cool.
it really hard.
You go to the starting line, and then you let it go, and then you sit in a chair having a few drinks, and then someone's going to call you on the phone in a few hours and tell you that you won. It's brilliant.
Oh, but the thought of that is really funny.
Yeah, and it's like, once you win, then you can put this pigeon out to stud like a bull. This one's the
Oh,
fastest.
okay.
Well, now it's worth like 100 grand. Come on. And you put it in a cage with like 200 female pigeons.
And you play romantic pigeon music.
Yeah, exactly. And you know that this is just going to be the greatest moment of this pigeon's life. It's
Oh
fucking
my
hilarious.
God.
My problem is pigeons suck, and I think something like a hawk or something seems way cooler to breed.
Hawks are pretty
Hawks
cool.
are scary.
Hawks are the
They can
natural
hurt you.
enemy of the pigeon, you see.
Oh.
So what you're saying is I should breed hawks and you should breed pigeons.
No.
We'll see who wins.
No, keep yours away from mine. It's not fair. Ad time. World of Tanks sponsorship.
World of
Sandra,
Tanks.
have you heard about this new free-to-play MMO with over 160 million players? The best thing about World of Tanks is not just that it's free, which it is that they're continuously pumping out new content. Like an old drain pipe in the Philippines, there's a constant flow of content into the greater ocean.
Oh
Did
my
you know you
God.
can enjoy World of Tanks on a console or on the mobile phone? All you have to do is call up this number and you tell them where you want to move. Yeah, go 5 yards forward. Fire. Did I hit him?
That's a hit.
Now, Sandra, this game is set in the post-apocalypse. All of the animals have gone extinct except for the tank. But then a world
Then how are
war
the people
breaks out
alive?
between them.
Hey, Mohammed. I heard there's only one tank in the whole game.
That's not true, Sandra. In fact, there are lots of different classes of tank.
Hey,
you can
her
be a healing
name's
tank.
Mohammed?
You can be
I
a
thought it
stealth
was a
tank.
guy's
You can
name.
even be a druid tank. This is downtown London before any sort of conflict happened. Boy, this really reminds me of a war I can't mention, Sandra. So go to the link below and use the code COMBAT. We'll give you a Cromwell B premium tank. 250,000 credits. 7 days World of Tank premium account time, plus 3 rental premium tanks. By the way, they sent us some promo stuff, and some of these are like ads that have Arnold Schwarzenegger in them, and Mila Jokovic and Chuck Norris.
What?
Mike sent me this, but it's brilliant. Look at this.
Also, they collaborate with Girls und Panzer.
Oh, I actually like that one. And same with Valkyria Chronicles. It's a good game. You know, Sandra, I heard they're adding a dating sim to World of Tanks. Oh, Cromwell, son. My barrel is all filled with ash and debris. Take this pipe cleaner and go to town. Sandra, how come you're in that tank right now?
I don't know.
Oh, stop it. You're destroying the whole set.
Oh no.
So click on the link in the description below and use code COMBAT to get a whole bunch of stuff. Look at this stuff. Ad over.
That one was a little too silly. The guillotine.
I know what the worst hobby is.
What?
Candle making.
Really?
Oh, what's the fucking point? Go down to the store and buy a big candle for $1, or if you want a scented one, they're everywhere. Like, I don't understand why people are
Wait, there's candles that cost $1. They're like $12 over here.
making their own candles. There's one fun part about candle making, which is that you can dip your hand in the hot wax and then you've got like a claw thing that you can start, peeling away.
It is surprising that isn't some kind of therapeutical thing, because that seems like somewhere like, have you been to the wax dipping?
Yes. Yeah, they've got those smoke pots and acupuncture.
Acupuncture.
Wax dipping.
That's the perfect like massage thing, because it kind of hurts, like a lot of those kind of treatments. Acupuncture, massaging. There's like a pain element to them, but there's also like a satisfaction element to them, where afterwards you feel like and then afterwards your skin would probably feel real like moisturized or something.
Yeah, because you would sweat.
Trains, on the other hand, I could see trains, because trains are like, that's a bit of a novelty. Like an old train's kind of cool to ride on.
There's this park in Melbourne, and it's got like this tiny train. And there's a little conductor dude that sits at the front.
Oh, it looks so sad.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was enjoying the hell out of that, and I understood it all of a sudden.
So suddenly all the cynicism that went into your early videos washes away. That's why you only upload twice a year now.
Yes, and I'm just too obsessed with trains now. Oh, is that the DC-45? Running on time, I see.
Would you tie a woman to the tracks? Do you reckon that? Did they ever do that? Is that a real thing someone did?
I would presume so. I would presume that's a pretty good way of taking someone out.
That has to be one of the most horrible way. Like, you're going to be mincemeat 100% chance. There's no way you're getting out of that.
Throw that one up, Jamie. Does anyone ever get tied to the railroad tracks? When did they start using the guillotine? That was around the 1700s, wasn't it? And that's like the same time that the train was around.
I was going to say, they didn't say that.
Train?
Well, a bit messier to clean up, I think. You can't just have a train running around covered in gore all the time.
Yeah,
what's crazy about the guillotine is
it's Mr. Rogers' chain.
Issued guillotining in France happened when the first Star Wars movie was in theaters.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like the 1970s or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like way later than you'd think.
Yeah. Do you reckon it hurts?
I actually think about that more often than I should, because they say that your brain activity still kicks around for a good 30 seconds afterwards.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Do you reckon you're just like, fuck. Well, this sucks.
Well, you'd land in the basket and then you'd be all nauseous, right? Because you'd be like, you'd spin and then land upside down.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
Right up against this wicker. This is terrible.
Yeah, this just sucks.
Then you might be a bit bored for a little while, like just waiting to die.
I hate thinking about this. This is stressing me out like it's something I have to do later.
What would be the worst part about getting guillotined? Because I suppose the blade is quick, at least. There would be a moment just before you put your head in it that you get really close to the guillotine and you kind of have this thought that's like, oh, this is really dangerous.
I shouldn't be doing it.
This is really dangerous.
Yeah, like when you get too close to it, like a bandsaw. Or,
you get like a tingle in your hands.
Yeah. Oh, I've got it. Right. So what you do is underneath you want to have a bit of a lever, like a seesaw, and then you have the basket there. So the moment it cuts through, your head falls off, it launches your head straight into the air, and then it's kind of like, whoa, I get to see the whole crowd.
That'd be the worst if it only cut through halfway.
Yeah, or it gets stuck, and then they try to
pull it up again.
And then that's pulling your neck as well.
And I just kind of they just stand above it and just kick the back of your head.
We're gonna need a couple fellas just to jump up and down on the blade, please. You tied a bloody knot in the rope. It's caught against the wooden beam.
This is very morbid.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about other ways to do the guillotine, because you could have them at the very top.
You drop them onto the.
Yeah, or you have an enormous spring underneath the blade, so everyone has to kind of pull, and then it goes off.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like you're loading. This feels like if like as seen on TV infomercials invented a guillotine. Like, aren't you sick and tired of that normal guillotine? And they invent this weird double-sided guillotine that can cut.
It slices, it dices, and it's 3 payments of $49.95 plus postage and the old person tries to drop the blade, but then they just kind of fall over, and then they're
Yeah, they try and pull on the rope, and then they just immediately go and turn to the camera. Like what about there's like a fan, and it's like
oh no,
so you just keep sliding people through it
like a conveyor, and have them turned into little slices.
Oh yeah, that would be quite nice. Yeah, we're essentially describing a deli slicer, but yeah.
Electric chair, that sounds pretty bad, but I feel like it'd be pretty quick.
Okay, so how do we improve the electric chair? I'm thinking what you do is, instead of one big shock, just thousands of little shocks.
They just randomly occur all over your body.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly licking a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
What if they just tape the battery to your tongue and then walk away and go,
It does 1 damage
Wait,
at
do
a time.
people actually lick
Eventually-
batteries?
Well, that's just death by 1,000 cuts, but it's death by 1,000 small shocks.
oh, fuck.
I wonder if you did just cover someone in wet 9-volt batteries, like whether you would die from starvation or like electrical current.
I think eventually, like, your muscles must just give out.
But it's like the muscles, it'll be your heart or brain that like gives up.
Yeah, your heart would give out. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah. You'd just get overly tired.
Yeah, okay, hold on. What if electrical chair, but there's a phone to play Family Guy on it while you die?
Oh my god.
What if, like... Oh, shit. I just lost it.
The Family Guy phone flashbanged you.
Throwing flashbang.
It just wiped your brain like a Men in Black clicker.
Yeah.
Imagine a Men in Black if instead you didn't see anything and they held up Family Guy Funny Moments compilation.
Oysters?
One of those things that I
had
got
my first
interested in
oysters
for quite a while
recently,
was
and they taste really good. Like, I was always scared to eat them because they look really gross, but they're really good. Nobody cares. I'm gonna play.
oysters.
Oysters.
Yeah.
Oysters.
Yeah, I just thought they were really interesting.
You went on oysters.com?
I don't know what that is. It won't be good though. And I went to this oyster tour in Tasmania, and they were just telling me about all these like really interesting things about oysters. So yeah, you have these piles and piles of shells. We would burn them and turn them into lime. Oh, really? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, so anyway, most oysters are about 7 years old, and here's how they mate.
Let me get some of that oystercy. Yeah. I think it's a clam, not an oyster, but there's a picture where like they put a bunch of salt in front of a clam and its big gross tongue like flops out and licks up all the salt.
Oh my god, really?
Ugh.
Have you seen that?
No.
Never seen
Let me find that. It is
thing?
interesting.
Pull that one up, Jamie. It's doing it.
Oh my
Isn't it
god!
fucked up?
Yeah, they're pretty awful.
I just want to fucking slam my fist down on it when its tongue's out.
Do you reckon it pulls its tongue in and goes, ooh, salty?
Yeah, but that's because if it hated salt, but then like it also has to use its tongue as its like primary means of transportation, so it has to like put its tongue in the salt to get away from the salt. It's kind of like it's like a saw trap almost.
Yes, why hasn't anyone done saw but for animals? Yes. You're always poking your tongue out at people. Well, salt around and stuff.
What if there was a Saw movie where he just did it to like innocuous animals? No one gave a shit about like clams and like deep sea anglerfish.
You're always just swimming around in the dark. Now you're sellotaped to a 800-watt light bulb. He's having like a mussel and clam stew, but he throws them all in a pot and then turns the water on to boil. And he goes, here I have set up a trap. You must escape before the water boils. But he always intended just to have a stew.
Yeah, exactly. He just watches as they boil because they're fucking like clams. They can't do anything.
Now comes the warm butter.
If you do not escape in 10 seconds, you'll be enveloped in fresh cream, which will permeate into your lungs and tongue, rendering
my
you
God.
unable to move. What's an animal you would like to see in a saw trap?
Sometimes I see those birds that are like, they're usually water birds, and they've got these very long, slender legs. I just think, God, that would be satisfying just to walk over and be like, snap that.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't actually want to hurt
Like a breadstick.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm not going to, but it's kind of like, you know, when your mate is showing off a brand new pencil,
Oh, yeah, and you just...
and he's like, I love this thing. I've sharpened it perfectly. I just want to reach over and snap it. In my head,
What the
all this
fuck?
stuff is absolutely hilarious. In real life, one time there was this mouse that got caught in a mouse trap at our place, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish him, so I had to let him go free in the park.
Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to do that either. I feel like my problem with Saw is, or just any horror movie really, which is another hobby a lot of people seem to love that I just don't understand. People never deserve it.
No.
Which I guess is kind of the point, but when it's like, oh, just some teacher who didn't like appreciate their family enough or something, it's like this person doesn't deserve to have their like face cut in half.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that's a sort of lesson that you would learn over the course of a lifetime to like appreciate your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that one's gonna work itself out.
You've just given them PTSD. You haven't solved anything.
One time, I Dungeoned and Dragoned.
Okay, interesting. When was this?
I was invited to do some D&D stuff back in my university days. I showed up on a Saturday. It was about
He looks so geeky with the sweater.
And we were there until about 7 o'clock, and we had to call it quits at 7 o'clock because the host's mum was coming home then. In that 6 hours, I think we managed to play for about an hour. And then the other 3 hours were spent setting up the game, and the other two arguing about the rules.
So you had the authentic experience, is what you're saying.
I am amazed that anyone gets to do more than about 15 minutes of gaming per 4-hour session. You got any D&D story? You ever kill a man?
I remember one time I went to a card store to buy some cards, and they were having like their weekly D&D night where like a whole bunch of different tables were all set up for people to play D&D.
Yeah.
And there's a guy sitting at one of them who had head to toe full Deadpool merch on.
Oh.
He had a Deadpool hat, he had a Deadpool jumper on, the jeans, I believe, probably just regular jeans, but they were black to fit with the color scheme. And then he had red and black sneakers, which I don't know if they were Deadpool branded, but they were definitely, continuing the color scheme.
You know what? Maybe it was like a bad coincidence. Like, maybe these are all the things he doesn't usually wear. Okay, this happened to me once, right? Somehow, when I was like 11, I think my mum had bought me a camouflage shirt and camouflage shorts. And so, like, my dad, right, he kind of wanted me to be a bit of a snob for some reason when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So he used to take me to the driving range all the time. And I remember looking in my closet and going, I don't have anything except this camouflage shirt and these camouflage shorts that I never wear. And so I just had to wear both of those. And so it looked like I was going to the military at age 11. And I remember distinctly, like, we were waiting to go in, and there's these two absolute strangers who walk by in the other direction and they salute. And I just died. That's probably what happened to those two. I think I would like to retire to a small town in Tasmania called Launceston.
Okay.
And one of the reasons is I was there and I was walking around downtown and, oh, neat, looks like a Warhammer store. So I went in and I bought a book, which I never read. And then I went back out and then I walked 2 stores down and then all of a sudden another comic book store.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, that's brilliant. There's like 2 of these.
Oh, you never see that happen.
And then I walked around the corner of the block and there was like one of those war games stores right there. It was all within like 100-yard radius. It was brilliant.
I'd love to find like a real nerdy town that you're just like, yeah, we're really nerdy, so what?
Yeah, we're doing reviews.
We just make a commune in the highlands of Tasmania and we just ship in Warhammer and D&D.
Absolutely. And then we set up like a cross between an internet cafe and a deli, but we only let our friends in and then everybody gets free deli meats, right? And then eventually one of us becomes the mayor. I actually Googled once the current mayor of Launceston and I thought, you know what, I could at least take this guy in a fight.
Yeah,
Easy.
Which is how they settle
so
the
happy.
mayorship in Tasmania.
Yeah, that's right. You stand in the middle of the triangle that intersects the 3 war game stores.
Yeah, and you have the ultimate war game.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I've never fucking understood Yu-Gi-Oh! Because half my friends play it, but like you look at one of those cards and it is just a novel.
There's a
man.
paragraph.
It's like,
I have
about
only
it.
ever seen the show, and that thing does not seem to have any rules at all.
yeah, those motherfuckers just making shit up on the fly.
You can't use 2 beast cards on one deck without sacrificing at least a spirit card. You what? Who? But then Yu-Gi-Oh! Immediately does it anyway without sacrificing the spirit card, and then he looks like he's, oh no, Yugi, you've lost all your life points. But then he's like, hold on a minute, I've got the heart of the cards. What does that mean? And then all of a sudden his poor life points come back.
Is that a gun?
Did you ever watch Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did. I was obsessed with it as a kid. But you're right. It has such little bearing on the actual game. I like to imagine the card designers just saw every episode come out and they're just like, fuck. How are we going to keep up with, like, because obviously kids are going to buy the decks being like, I want to do Yuki's cool move.
Blue Eyes White Dragon, please.
I remember as a kid looking up the cards and the descriptions are completely different to the show and being really disappointed. I also think some kid stole my cards. I'm not sure.
I know who it was. It was that goddamn Kaiba.
That goddamn Kaiba came to rural New Zealand and stole my deck that was probably worth $20 maximum.
He held your grandfather to ransom, and he wanted your Dark Wizard card. I think Yugi has the... I don't know if his name is Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Yugi.
His name's Yugi, and then when he turns into the version of him that's trapped in the Millennium Puzzle, he's Yami Yugi.
I forgot about that, the Millennium Puzzle.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Millennium Eye, Yug.
And that's right, there he can like see under Yugi's clothes with it or something.
His facial expression would just change when he goes between the two. He had the most bizarre hair of any anime character I've ever seen. It was like, what is even happening? It's like 3 different colors, and it's almost a pyramid.
At least like most anime characters here, it's like stupid, but you're like, okay, theoretically with enough hair gel, you could make that happen, like Cloud's hair or something.
Yeah.
Like there's just a blonde guy with
like Super
spiky,
Butterbun.
like,
She does her hair
and
like
then Joey's
that.
just
Well,
from
she used
Brooklyn
to.
for some reason, even though it's like set in Japan.
Wasn't this in a video?
Yeah, I also did a video of this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which you can click on the top right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't click on it.
Is it over? The end.
All right, listen up, Mini Cooters. I've got your granddad. I'm gonna expose him to my gamma radiation.
I'm gonna play a mountain and tap it and cast lightning bolt on your
Are you turning Egyptian right now?
You've already done this joke before. Don't make me do blackface.
You're just in denial, Mini Cooters.
Man, you need to start finding someone else to do these.
All right, thanks for being on. I'll catch you later.
Oh, we'll see you at, we got D&D tonight, and then you said you're coming around for Magic tomorrow.
My mum's coming home and so I go.
We've got Yu-Gi-Oh! The day after that, and then we're going to be watching Game of Thrones the day after that. Warhammer, I think.
Oh my God, they just hang out for like 5 days straight.
Terrible news.
Oh.
This is her story.
Oh.
Internet historian's wife.
Oh, okay.
He has died. You won't be able to make any of those appointments. Don't contact this woman.
At your door looking at you, though. We've been talking face to face.
Time of bereavement.
I'm looking at you.
Do not forget World of Tanks.
Where's my mouse? Okay, that was really fun. I really needed that pick me up because I've been having a terrible week. Thank you for spending time and watching this with me, and I hope to see you guys again. Bye.